Ni hao, konnichiwa, and 안녕하세요. I am Chloe Brandon, and this is Mianhua Tang, and today we're going to be presenting language growth of East Asia. So, these are the similarities between Korean, Japanese, and Chinese. So they all use logographic writing systems, including Hanzi, Kanji, and Hanja, which is when Korean Hangul is supplemented with Chinese characters. They all have cultural influences over each other, but mainly because China has influenced both Korea and Japan with its language, philosophies, as well as religion. Even though they all have their own separate religion as well, and they were influenced by other countries and other methods, mainly China had a really big impact on the East Asian cultures. So they also have a really high economic importance through the global economy, which is why proficiency in their language offers advantages in business, trade, and diplomacy. So there's a huge demand for language educational programs. So there are a lot of global interest in these kind of things. There's institutions like Confucius Institutes, King Sejong Institutes, and the Japan Foundation, which promotes these language learnings through technological adaptations and platforms. So Chinese has over 1.2 billion speakers worldwide, maybe more, maybe less. So it is the most spoken language in the world, aside from English, Spanish, and Arabic. And it has emerged as a global economic powerhouse that lead to the increase of trading as well as having businesses in China and the rest of the world. So it's super important to learn the Chinese language. And the Korean language has seen a surge in popularity due to the Korean pop culture like K-pop and K-dramas. And the Korean government has actively promotes the Korean Wave, which is the expansion of its culture through initiatives such as King Sejong Institute, which offers Korean language education worldwide. And then Japanese is spoken by around 128 million people globally and remains a vital language in business, technology, and culture. Japan's rich cultural heritage, anime, manga, and the cuisine are the main reason why people want to learn Japanese. And the Japanese government supports language education abroad through programs like the JET program. So the comparison of knowing these is it's a little bit different. So Chinese has more of a stagnant growth, constantly growing. Everybody wants to learn Chinese ever since the Western world came in contact with the Eastern world. Korean really hasn't been popular to learn until the recent early 2000s, about 2010, 2009, through the emergence of K-pop. Usually before then, a lot of people didn't really want to learn Korean. It's kind of like a dip. So you have the Korean War that happened, which people wanted to learn, and then it kind of declined. Nobody really wanted to learn it, and then it went up because now everybody wants to learn it because of K-pop. And the Japanese language started to have its emergence right around World War II globally during that issue, I guess. A lot of people wanted to learn the Japanese language so they could listen and spy on and take notes during World War II. And now, because of anime and manga, it has exponentially grown. And all of their economies and all of their governments support language learning through programs where you can go over there, teach English, and they in return will teach you Japanese. So there is an expansion into the US and into the UK. So basically, the Chinese language education has gained momentum, reflecting China's role as a major trading partner and global player. The Korean language programs have also flourished, as well as the Japanese, because of its longstanding cultural ties and business interest, and the Korean because of K-pop and dramas. In the UK, it's pretty much the same. Chinese, Korean, and Japanese all have gained high momentum through the UK because of its trade, because of its culture, because of its academia, businesses, all of that super important. And the impact of East Asian cultures in the US is that in the 21st century, East Asian cultures, including Chinese, Korean, Japanese, have significantly influenced the cultural landscape of the United States. From the widespread popularity of K-pop and Japanese cuisine to the integration of Eastern philosophies and wellness practices like herbal remedies, these cultural phenomena has shaped American society and consumer trends. Back in the 1980s, we could hardly see any Chinese, Korean, or Japanese restaurants, but now as of 2024, we can see a lot of those. Even right down the street, there's a Bin Bin place from me. So these are some discussion questions I want you guys to think about and answer. The first one is how can businesses in the US and the UK better adapt to the linguistics and cultural nuances of Chinese, Korean, and Japanese markets? The second one is what role do you see East Asian languages and cultures playing in shaping global trends and innovations in the coming decades? And before we end this presentation, just wanted to let you guys know that the reason why I want to present this guys to you is I am a speaker of Chinese, Korean, and Japanese, and I think it is super important to learn these languages, especially if you have the intentions of partnering internationally with businesses or doing anything in the international world. I think it's super important to learn these languages. And yeah, that's pretty much my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, feel free to just type them below in the chat reply and I'll answer any questions that you may have. Thank you so much. Bye bye.